So hi all. I still remember the first time I attended the district conference. It was Discover 2023. Prisha and I, we were the ones who were planning to go for that conference, and we were very hesitant about the entire thing, because the only thing we were thinking about was 5,000 rupees plus 5,000 rupees. We can go on a mini vacation for this instead of going to a Toastmasters conference. But somehow I convinced Prisha, Ashok sir also motivated us, that we finally went to that Discover 2023. The first thing we discovered as soon as we went there was a student offer and we could have saved 2,000 rupees. It was only after that Prisha also started thinking about whether we should have really come here. But after the entire conference was over, we felt that it was worth the money and it was completely worth the experience we were getting. In fact, I liked the conference so much that I enrolled for post-graduation, especially to get student discount for Discover 2021. Jokes apart, I always feel that district conferences, this is one of the places where the energy, enthusiasm and learning is so great, and it is what often makes a person stay in Toastmasters for a very long time, and it is personally the same for me as well. That is the reason I wanted to conduct this panel discussion on Discover 2025, so that all the learnings which the panelists got, they could share with the club as a whole today. Let me introduce you to the panelists one by one. First we have Toastmaster Sakthipriya. She's completed her bachelor's in social work and is pursuing a dual degree in MA HRM and MBA operations. She's an aspiring HR and amateur travel enthusiast. She's fond of cats, dogs and plants. And the special thing about Toastmaster Sakthipriya is, today marks exactly 1 year of her Toastmasters journey. Next we have Toastmaster Vijay. Toastmaster Vijay has 15 plus years of experience. He's working in an analytics company. He's interested to solve business problems, likes to go for a long drive and wishes to be in calm places and finds inner peace. He's going to share with us how he found inner peace in Discover 2025 today. Both Sakthipriya and Vijay are our first time attenders of the district conference. Next we have Toastmaster Balakrishnan. He has 20 years of IT experience and is currently the JD Edwards Order IT Fulfillment Lead for Vantu Healthcare Corporation and handles this portfolio for their North Americas and Latin America regions. He has been in Toastmasters from September 2017, and apart from being a member of Emerging Leaders, he has helped charter Baxter India Toastmasters that is based out of Bangalore and is their club coach and mentor. On the personal front, he is a huge fan of Amitabh Bachchan. He's attended 4 district conferences so far, including when we were part of District 82. Before District 120, we were part of District 82, which included Sri Lanka also. So he's attended district conferences from that time too. Let's give a huge round of applause. Next we have distinguished Toastmaster Ashok. He joined Toastmasters in 2012. He earned Distinguished Toastmaster Award 3 times. He has served as a club officer in all the 7 positions. He has served as a district leader, area director and division director, and was part of the extended team as well. He has been appointed as the district finance manager for the year 2025-2026. He has 30 plus years of cumulative experience in Defense Research Development Organization and in the IT industry, HCL Technologies. He has attended 6 annual conferences, 2 semi-annual conferences and 2 online annual conferences. Let's welcome Now that we've introduced all the panelists, let's start with the questions for today. Let's start with our first timer, Toastmaster Sakthipriya. Sakthipriya, what was the goosebumps moment you had, and can you elaborate on the same?
the goosebumps moment I had was during the guest speech of Kalaimamani, Deepa Venkat. She's a voice artist and she's the voice of many famous heroines like Nayanthara, Simran, and so on. She explained, at one part of her speech, she explained about the different types of laugh in the industry. Something starting with very subtle laugh a heroine could give, a gig, and so on. She told us that she's also the voice artist for many ghost characters, and she also mentioned that she will not be doing it on stage because it's scary. And she broke her inhibition on the stage and she performed a ghost laughter that roared through the halls of District 120's conference. And that's when I had my goosebumps moment. She was very realistic. For her to say that she was not going to do it and eventually break it and do it in front of us was also very inspiring to watch. That was my goosebumps moment.
I completely agree with her. Deepa Venkat ma'am, it's one thing to be an expert in your industry and it's another thing to clearly articulate it to an audience who doesn't know what you're doing. And that is what she came there and did. She was so clear in what she wanted to convey that each and every word she uttered, it felt like a piece of treasure and a piece of gold to be cherished. I completely agree with you, Sakthipriya. Let us now move on to our next panelist, Toastmaster Vijay. What was one moment when you felt like, wow, this is what I came to the conference for? What was that goosebumps moment for you?
Sure. I joined Toastmaster for my personal growth, referring that I want to improve only my public speaking. Whenever thought about leadership skills, I hesitated. I said, okay, let's do once or twice. After attending District 120 conferences, I'm aware that there is going to be human speech contest, entire speech contest, evaluation contest, and debate topics. The way how the speech was constructed, frankly speaking, I have never imagined. One of the such speech was that that's a topic itself. He started the human speech contest from that start, and he just take over. He just carried away complete to the end. So that was one of the human speech contest, I would say that. Then I felt my another goose to my evaluation contest in terms of the question was very tricky related to real time perspective. There was a lady. She started with how the evaluation have been started. She broke into about one shift, other shift, like in terms of what she studied and how she have played our PG and education level. Then she got married. Then she had a pushback. Then at last what she had done in that. So those complete vague, right, sine wave of how it has been done, table topics to be presented in front of the audience, that was fantabulous for me. So those are two goosebump moments which I felt from a professional friend. And from a personal friend on speakers, I had a lot. I'll share you the next questions.
Thank you. I think I completely agree with you. There is, if we are contesting at a particular level in the club, it is almost like 10 times the competition at district. The number of speeches, like if there are 9 humorous speeches, almost 7 to 8 of them are just a riot of laughter. And we can learn so much from each and every joke which the person puts, and it just kindles our curiosity so much. I completely agree with him. And that story about Uma ma'am, I think you were sharing in that table topic contest. Yeah, that was also, I think she was so spontaneous at that moment, and sharing that personal story, having that emotional connect with the audience in a table topics where you have to think on the spot, presenting before 600 people. I think that was surely a goosebumps moment for me too. Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Next, we have Toastmaster Balakrishnan. He already has some experience attending these contests, but it has been a while since he has attended annual conference. So what was that goosebumps moment for you? What did you find new in this contest?
So I was attending after a gap of 6 years, and now I ask why there was a gap of 6 years. So there were 3 sets of learnings for me. First is, I had a chance or privilege of interacting with the world champion of public speaking, Luisa Montalvo, not once, but 4 times. Because with different attire you need to take a selfie, and then you try to match it to put in the specific face photo, right? And here she was, like so many people were asking for requests and everything, and she was wheelchair bound. She's having some challenges. But not for once she had any inhibitions or saying that the superstar culture. She never had that. She was very easy going. At the end of the 4 days, she knew more about me. Okay, all these things. So that was really good. Second thing is, when I am looking at because I have this habit of writing notes for all the speeches and also trying to be a silent judge. In fact, people were thinking I was a judge. So I was writing. For the IDC, I stopped writing because we had a galaxy of speakers. We had Shamraj, we have Selva, we had Karthik Mohandas. I thought, who is going to do this one? Then I thought, we are privileged to see so many of galaxy of speakers here. And then finally in the table topics, mere mortals like me can only connect to a story for the 2 minutes. Here, 3 of them were trying to have a story within that table topic and doing a twist. So those were the goosebumps for me, and literally I had a goosebumps and I was trying to just suppress it or something. So overall it was very wonderful.
I think he was talking about the world champion of public speaking. I think it's one of those unique opportunities once in a lifetime. You get to meet one of those world champions in the district conference. Something which really touched me, like he said, how humble the world champions were. On the opening day, we gave her a standing ovation. She was sitting in the wheelchair and she stood up with us too, in recognition of that standing ovation. I felt that showed her humility. Despite reaching such a height, she too wanted to stay grounded and connected with the audience. I too felt that goosebumps moment when we were talking about that world championship. Thank you, Toastmaster Balakrishnan. Next, we have our multiple time attendee, distinguished Toastmaster Ashok Kumar. So you have attended many conferences. You would have seen many things like this, many world champions, many things. Was there still a goosebumps moment for you, or how does it work?
See, every time you attend a district conference, there will be many goosebump moments. Absolutely no doubt about that. It's guaranteed. In this, specifically in ISC contest, there was one speaker, one contestant, Toastmaster Anvesha Guha. She talked about the, not so popular character in a family, the dad. She was talking about her dad, generally how dads are ignored, all that, in a very touching way. In fact, I started crying. Of course, I cry very often when I see movies. But when listening to such speech, it was very touching. She did a wonderful job. In fact, during the break, I thanked her for such a lovely speech. That's one moment. And another one is when, as the club as a whole, when we were awarded this Medley Distinguished Award, I was really happy. We all went up to collect the award. We have been President Distinguished Club for quite a while, and this is the first time. Of course, they are going to introduce for the next year Medley Distinguished Award. That we have already got it. I am very happy about that. That was also another goosebump moment for me.
So what I understood from what Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok just said is, when I framed this question, I thought they will be giving me one specific goosebumps moment. This is that moment of the entire conference. That's how they are going to give me. But from what he has said, I realized that there's not just that one moment. There have been so many moments throughout the conferences which have touched us so much and which have transformed us in some little way. Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok, for your perspective. Next, let's move on. Toastmaster Sakthipriya. Did you meet someone new in the conference who made an impression on you?
Yes, I met someone new that actually made a beautiful impression on me, and that is none other than the world champion of public speaking, Toastmaster Louisa Montalvo. Why it was such a touching moment was because we always aspire to be the world champion, we always aspire to go somewhere higher, and the usual understanding is that it's the top and it's a one man's place. Not only during her keynote speech, even in person when I met her, she made a striking moment. She claimed that it's not a one man spot, but it's a plateau, and she invited people there to join her in that plateau. And that was a very striking moment. And when I was talking to her personally, she invited me to be on the plateau, and that was very inspiring. That's one person that made a striking difference. And the other person was, we had the finalist of World Championship, and that was Toastmaster Furse. And he gave a keynote speech on the art of storytelling. He pulled out a random member from the crowd. I mean, it was volunteering basis, so someone volunteered to come on stage. And that's probably, if I had been on that stage, it would have been the biggest mistake of my life, because he's from Bangkok, but he was a true Indian parent, because he literally roasted that guy. He made that guy repeat the same set of sentences again and again until he perfected it to a level that he was satisfied. That is usually something that happens in tuitions, but for someone to go on stage and speak like that in front of probably 1,000 audience, he made an impression.
So the person who went up on stage made an impression. Sure, I completely agree with you. The only thought I was having when that person went up on stage was, I don't want to be in that spot at anymore. So what she said about a person whom we don't even know making an impression on us in a conference like this. Now she's talking about that boy, but I don't think that boy knows that he made an impression on me. So this is what happens in a Toastmasters conference like Discover 2025. Thank you, Sakthipriya. Toastmaster Vijay, who is that one person who made an impression on you in the conference?
In the conference, other than our guys, our TM, I hadn't spoken to anyone. But inside me, right, okay, you have to say these things. Please go and speak to him. Please have a conversation. But I didn't. That hesitation is still absent. Where it was completely broken up, right? You know, few things. Even our family members say we won't agree. Even our friends say we won't agree. Even our senior people say we won't agree. Something the 4 or 5 people who's unknown to your world, who does something, it will hit you badly, right? When I enter the conference first day and second day, then when I see that young chaps who come out of colleges are area directors, district level, performing at the greatest level, right? And inside me was questioning myself, where are you guys? How you came across all those stuff? Okay, fine. After knowing over here, at the club level, what you have done? So that triggers me completely, and I would say thank you to Prasad that he has been pushing me hard at participating in club contests, That day I submitted my club level thing. That was the wow moment for me, I would say that. Then the second person who has made me as a wow moment is the hesitation of what I want within myself, which didn't came out, right? That's none other than my friend did it in the complete conference was Toastmaster Ashok Kumar, who was break down everything. In terms of communicating with people, dancing with people, making friends, extending his connects to the next level. That's the biggest learning. Even though it's a funny part of our side, that's the biggest learning, I would say.
One of the things, apart from getting to know new people, we get to know the people whom we already know better in these conferences, because we come to a meeting, there's just 10 minutes for networking and we go out there. But these 3 days in an entire year, you get to spend on a close note with these people, sitting with them, enjoying the conference with them. I think it takes bonding to an altogether different level. Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Next we have Toastmaster Bala. How was it after a 6-year break to meet all these new people, and who was that person who made an impression on you?
So before that, since I am on video, I want to record it. I want to be on record saying that it is my habit, whether it's any conference, I never sit with my group. So if the ELBC people thought I was not sitting with them, there was the purpose. Because any contest or any conference, I go separately so that I make new friends and take selfie and next day I post it on their feed. So the same thing today, this time also. This time what I noticed is 6 years gap. If you are out of sight, you are out of mind. But still there were a lot of people actually who were remembering me. And actually mine and Sakthipriya's answers are same. So I don't know whether we had some kind of intuition what she will say. So DTM Farsi, obviously he was something I met him. He is a very renowned speaker. But one thing which I noticed is he was doing all those acts, funny acts. and you could see it on FB, you can see on his Insta profile, he's doing all those funny acts. Now when such a person of such a stature does a funny act, people can think it in other manner. Oh, this guy is so, he's so funny. They do not take him seriously. But when it came on the stage, he was a completely different beast. He was very meticulous in what he was doing. So that transition was stunning for me to see. I've never seen. Even Louisa probably couldn't do that much as much as Percy did. And second thing, you told about that person who got fried up by Percy. So I had a privilege of taking a selfie with him. Because what I thought was it take guts to be the speaker and to be like fried by that DTM Percy. As well as he was also on the contest chair later on, he and another girl. So usually what I do is I have this intuition, I take selfie and those people after 2 years they become champions. It has happened 3 times. And I shared it with his mother, Toastmaster Shri Devi, and she said okay, and I told just remember me. So that when the thing comes, you have to first give credit to me. So this is what is my, new friendships that I made.
Sir, can you take a selfie with me also? I completely agree with what he said. About Percy especially, I was a contest master and we were up on stage during the prize distribution of the ISC for just a few seconds. It was probably less than a minute. But during that 1 minute, he cracked 3 jokes and made me laugh. I could hardly even talk to him because I was so introverted and I was not really present at that moment. But he was a complete stranger and he made 3 jokes and made me so comfortable at that point of time. So I could completely resonate with what he was talking about Percy, how he's a different person at different points of time. Thank you, Toastmaster Balakrishnan.
Just for record, I think the person's name is Sriram.
Sriram.
G. Sriram.
I just got his contact number.
Okay, to distinguish Toastmaster Ashok, the question is a little bit different. Actually, Sir did something very interesting. Usually he is the one who motivates all of us. And he made the entire club members take a pledge. And he also made all the members dance at Fun Night. So the question to you is, how do your past experiences help you guide a group of first-time conference attendees?
Okay. Generally, some ideas are born out of pain. In 2024, when the conference happened in Radisson Group in Chennai, there were not many of our members attending that. I felt almost alone. You were maybe doing something, Prabhu was not available all the time. I was almost alone. Probably DTM Mathur was there for some time, I don't know. 2023, if you see, as you said, you and Prisha were the first timers, and even probably Prabhu. They all felt at that time, oh, many clubs are going to the stage. They got inspired during that time. So in 2023, they had that kind of a pain, and 2024, I didn't have much company. That was my pain. This time, the moment, we were 11 people on the last day. 11 of us were there. So, in fact, whenever we are attending some motivational training or speeches we listen, we get lots of ideas pumped up. But the moment we come back and have our dinner at home, half of that will be forgotten. The next day, oh, was there such a conference? Something like that. So, during that the first day and second day, I heard Vijay or Prasad or something saying, oh, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. All that they were saying, I was listening. Then I felt, okay, probably we can do as a very simple act. We all put our hands together. Then we took the pledge. We will share that video sometime later. And also I suggested, that is the reason, I suggested let's have some kind of a recap of the whole thing as part of the panel discussion or some other way. That is the reason. So I was motivated to motivate people. Hopefully next year also we will have lots of attendance.
Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok, he has always been that one source of wisdom whenever we have any challenge or any trouble, we go to him. At that point when he was talking about our club was struggling a lot, we could not even get one award in the district conference, and now we have so many awards here lined up. I think Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok was a guiding force. Let's move on to our next set of questions. This time I'll start with Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok again. What's the most valuable learning you took away from the conference?
See, in every conference we get lots of learnings. One thing that stands out, which is not a new learning for me, but it is a reinforcement of the belief that I always have. It's about the consistency. It's about showing up every time. Every speaker who went onto the stage and they were totally fired up, they fired up the audience. They all did all this through consistent practice, rehearsal or whatever. When we talk about Percy or Louisa or the contestants, all the ISC contestants, all the humorous speech contestants, definitely they would have put in lots and lots of efforts consistently over long time. That is something reinforced my learning or my belief that consistency is the key for success. I always say everyday success, every week success or whatever it is, we should be consistent. Thank you.
There is something like directly the speakers say and we get inspired by them, but this is different. We're just looking at them coming year after year, like Ashok sir has done. I think for them it's the first time they are seeing many of them, but for Ashok sir, he has seen them every year despite their failure, despite their success. They are coming over here year after year and putting up a show. I think consistency, I can understand where he is coming from and telling those words of wisdom. Thank you.
One more thing I just want to add. Sridhar Ranganathan was one of the contestants. He took a bold initiative or experiment. He just stood in a very small space. He didn't use the stage and all. He stood in one place and made everything, and then he came as the second place winner in the conference. That was also another thing.
Yes, I completely agree with him. Standing in one spot, and he even had his hands in his pocket to not even show his hand gestures. Those two things are very important. We often say in a speech, right, like stage movement and hand gestures. But without those two things, winning a second prize and creating that kind of impact in an audience where you don't even need those hand gestures and stage movement, I think that was really a great thing. I completely agree with you, Distinguished Toastmaster Ashok. Next we have Toastmaster Bala. What is that one major takeaway you had from this conference?
I think what DTM Ashok Kumar sir told that it's a consistency. So most of the IEC speakers, for example, DTM Shamraj is a Grand Slam winner in district T2, meaning all the 4 contests he has won district. And to redo it in 120, he is starting. And that means you have to go through the grind again, club, area, division, district. It's not easy. And for him, he goes beyond regional and all, then again to start. To do that, it's very difficult. And then when DTM Sridhar was giving his speech, there was a guy near to me. He told he is doing like this. Definitely he's not going to win. I told he is doing with a purpose. See, now the hand will come from here to here. It came. It came here. Whenever I told it came. But I didn't know his speech. But I knew that there is a method to his madness. At the end, what I thought was, I remembered a quote. If you can get out of Toastmasters, what you can get out of Toastmasters, you can always get, you will never get out of Toastmasters. So this quote is not my quote, and I'm not putting this quote because I'm wearing a quote, but this quote is somebody else's quote, which is deep quoted in my mind.
And repeat that one
So I tried to pronounce the way Deepa Venkat did when she emphasized, but I'm going to just tell you, if you can get out of Toastmasters, what you can get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. So I just emphasized.
I think he said everything. I can't repeat that quote as well. So let's move on to Toastmaster Vijay. You are the first time attendee. What are all, should I ask, what are all the takeaways, or what is that one takeaway which you had in the conference?
I had multiple takeaways, frankly. In terms of speaking, in terms of any prepared speech, if you want to play, we think a lot, but we miss the simple things, right? Like in terms of Furse's thing was very educational in terms of what is the status quo, what's the instant, and what is the at the end what is the resolution we are coming to a conclusion, right? Not be this space may not be face that in everyday's life in my professional environment where I try to explain them with a full complete data analysis. They say, what is the point? Speak to the point. And as the previous question where Shakti and Bala was referring about how that person grinded, right? Within me I was grinding myself how to get that answer out. So that's the biggest takeaway for me in terms of how the speech you can plan for it and how you have to professionally look into it on speak to the point. That's two big learnings I took.
Thank you. I think there are a lot of technical things you learn in a district conference apart from getting inspired. These specific technical aspects from a champion where he talked about that pivot point, and he took a piece of thread and he showed us how a story changes direction with that thread. There was this thread going from the stage and out of the door in one point. I'm not sure I can convey it clearly, but it was such a creative way of explaining that entire concept that we can remember it even after a long time. So I felt that I completely resonate with what you said.
I would add only one point, right? In that Furse's thing, frankly speaking, I realized that I'm a good listener because throughout the speech, whenever he tried to elaborate in a very different manner, which is for me and me and my ELTC friends also didn't get that properly. I said what he's trying to say, But later, after the session, went home, then I was thinking about what happened today, right? It just still struck me that that's the impact he had created on me.
Even I have some doubts, sir. Next we have Toastmaster Sakthipriya. What is that one major takeaway you had in the conference?
Since this was my first time, there was couple of technical takeaways I had, but something that stayed with me and I think is going to stay for the rest of my life was something a little non-technical that Toastmaster Luisa told to all of us. It's like how we all of us participate in contests with the intention to win it, with the intention to impress both the audience and the judge and go home with a trophy. But she rightly mentioned that for that event to happen, you must be able to deliver the right speech at the right time, in the right place, in front of the right judges. Only when that combination happens, you will be lucky enough to win the public speaking contest, whatever contest you are going for. So, even I have intentions to win club contest and go ahead. But when she told that, that's when I realized that beyond my preparations, it has to be in front of the right judges. Only then I have the opportunity to give my best and impress them. So keeping that in mind, that is when she also mentioned that she was the finalist in 2019 and her dream to become a public speaking champion has been with her for the past 10 years. So it took her 10 years to stand in front of the right judges and to convey the right story and impress in all of that. And that really put a spark in me that only if I keep trying for a very long time, such kind of dreams will come to life. That is my biggest takeaway.
You can just sense the impact which her words have had, right? Like they are speaking from the heart, like whatever they are telling, it's not something memorized, but they have related it to their own experience and they are speaking it from their heart in a very authentic manner. Thank you, Toastmaster Sakthipriya. Let's move on to our next set of questions. How much time do we have left?
4:40 now. Time.
How much time is it?
20 minutes means now start.
20 minutes green, 25 yellow.
30 minutes.
30 minutes red.
How much?
When did we start? I think we start at around 4:50.
What is it?
4:40.
Okay, we'll just wrap it up with the pen. Okay, we have a set of rapid fire questions. We'll just wrap it up with this set of rapid fire questions. Let's start with Toastmaster Vijay. You're just going to answer in one word or one sentence, not more than that. Listening to speeches or networking?
Speeches.
Favorite item in the goodies bag?
Bag.
Role you would like to take in the next conference?
Contest chair.
Contest. Will you attend again next year? Next, let's have distinguished Toastmaster Ashok. Listening to speeches or networking?
Networking.
Favorite item in the goodies bag?
Bye.
Did you dance at the fun night?
Yeah, very much.
Role you would like to take next conference?
I will be the district finance manager, so I may not take any
Take
specific
secret role.
Yeah, secret role like
Will you attend again next year?
first time. I mean, the moment early bird offer is announced, I will pay. That is that I have been doing. Yes.
Balakrishnan sir. Listening to speeches or networking?
Network.
Networking. You should not say bag for this answer. Favorite item in goodies bag?
Notebook.
Notebook.
Yeah.
Did you dance at fun night?
Yes, I was very unhappy that they closed at 10.
They extended it after that.
Then later moment told they didn't. It was just they were trying to confuse people, but it was just it.
Role you would like to take next conference?
I don't want to sound overconfident, but if I can come as a district contestant, that would be great.
Super. Will you attend again next year?
Yeah, if I have to follow that, I'm going to attend. Most of this time I subscribe very late. So the next time I want to do the early bird offer and save some 1,000 rupees.
Toastmaster Sakthipriya. Listening to speeches or networking?
Listening to speeches.
Favorite item in the goodies bag?
The bag.
No, not allowed to tell that.
Okay, well, the second best would be the keychain, but I literally took that bag to Pondicherry trip this time again. I'm yet to unpack the bag, that's how much I like it.
Okay, I think if some district leaders see this video, they'll be very happy about the entire initiative about the bag. Did you dance at the fun night?
Yes, I did.
Role you would like to take next conference?
Audience.
Will you attend again next year?
Definitely.
So let's give a huge round of applause. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being part of this panel and having such deep insights about the entire conference. I think it would have inspired a lot of the members to come up and attend the conference next time. That was the entire purpose of this thing, to have that sharing of experience with the club members as well. I felt it went wonderfully well and everyone was on point, and I hope we completed it on time. Thank you all of you for being a wonderful audience. Thank you all.